Okay, so I know we played this archetype recently, and I know I was like pretty high on a Bahamut. But then we played against this card, Sin, Spear's Punishment, and Goryo's, and I think it's very good in Goryo's. This is a 7 mana Sultai creature. When it enters or attacks, you exile a permanent card from your graveyard, you make a token copy of it, or you exile it, then you make a token copy of it. And then you repeat that process if you exile a land. So if the lands are just kind of freebies on this sequence here. So one, I was pretty interested in testing out the Goblin Engineer tech, just being able to turn your Traverse the Uvenwalds into Entombs is a pretty big deal. This was like a good chat suggestion last time we played the deck, where you can traverse for Engineer to either put Godpharaoh's Gift in the yard for you to Shifting Woodland, or Cityscape Levelers was my addition as a good creature to Shifting Woodland also. But Sinspara is really cool because if it hits an Ulamog, the Ulamog enters with a ton of counters because it gets exiled. So Sinspara is it's good. It's good on every axis here. Where if you untap it with FOMO, you get the trigger again, which is really cool. If you you can Shifting Woodland it to like copy Ulamog and cheat Ulamog into play, so it gives you redundancy to cheating Ulamog. That you were playing Through the Breach 4 instead in the kind of the previous builds, so that part's really nice. It also, with Fable of the Mirror Breaker, is weirdly hard castable. So like if you can turn 2 Fable off Labyrinth or Sprawl, it's pretty realistic that you're going to just hard cast Sinspara in the late game, which is I think pretty dang sick. And then so there was one more. It's also really good to get back with Godpharaoh's Gift. So just really was impressed with the card in testing, and I wanted to test this card, and I wanted to find a shell for it that wasn't just like the stock Goryo's builds, even though I think it's good there. I think I want to try a more interesting shell. Engineer to break our hearts again. The Engineer was good in testing. Any chance the cages should be endurances? This is my anti Neoform sideboard card, which endurance doesn't do anything against. So this is like maybe my last Final Fantasy card to explore. So like, give me a second to get the Moxfield up to date. First 2 leagues went kind of fast. Didn't feel like playing a second. So. But this one's been pretty nice. I guess all Faithless looting decks today, huh? Sometimes I don't really realize I've been like on a binge with the card, like like looting until until I play 3 looting decks in a row. I think we'll just lead on the Surveil turn 1. Endurance is just really good. What is it good against in this format? Is it just Goryo's? Because again, it's nice that Cage is good against Neoform and Goryo's. So it would be really nice if I had one more in printable, because then I could go. I guess I couldn't go Traverse, play Woodland, and do the thing next turn. So we'll just discard both of these. I don't think I'm super interested in traversing for Woodland this turn necessarily. Although maybe that's dumb. Maybe I just should be. Yeah, I guess it's just really hard for them to deal with this. Titan, Boros, Goryo's, any of the Graveyard Synergy decks. I mean, it's just so vague, you know. It's like not the best plan against Titan. It's not a good import. I wouldn't even board them in against Boros in this deck, I think. A Phoenix deck was bad. We played 1 league and 3-2'd. I just wanted to keep going. I got a lot in the queue. I think it's probably the best way to build. I think it's probably the best way to build Boros at the moment. Honestly, I've been really impressed with it. It's just like, build Prowess at the moment. But I think despite it probably being the best way to build Prowess, like Prowess still like is just not in that great of a spot, which is always a tough place to be. I think I take this Ulamog. So we need to dodge a Thraben Charm or a Blood Moon game one, but barring that, they're just dead. Oh no, there's actually one more Final Fantasy card. The mono white Basim. Alright, GG. Not playing Six Shot is a tough style. Card hits so hard. Well, the thing is, the card hits really hard, but the format is so ready to kill Slick Shot Show Off. And so, like, that's kind of like the entirety. And we did lose to the Boros matchup, but like the Phoenixes are just so much better against Boros than Show Off is. That's for me just kind of a big part of the thing, I guess. Maybe not the whole thing. Okay, you're dead. See you in game two. I'm gonna bring in the Fire Magics and a Haywire Might. Don't know if I also want to bring in Force of Vigor. I think I want to cut the Spyro, the Cash Grab. Might cut one Sinspara. Might cut the Engineer. I think the Fables are really nice. The Fables can be really nice. If they're like just mulligan to all sideboard cards. Yeah, this is enters or attack, so you can woodland it. It's like that's kind of what's really exciting is that it's a really good woodland target. Kind of like Ulamog isn't. Ulamog isn't good to woodland, Sinspar is, and it can also it can exile Ulamog and get a big thing into play. That's the idea at least. Maybe we could have looting. Alright, we'll keep this. Opponent kept 7 on the play. Might just want to turn 2 Fable and into turn 3 double FOMO. Definitely want to keep that. So yeah, it's good to gift. It's good to woodland, and then it also is good with FOMO on your gift turns. And then with your Fables, it's like weirdly hard castable too because it costs 7. So I probably want to wait on the Fable till after I Fire Magic, so let's just hold up the Fire Magic here. Maybe a Seasoned Pyromancer. Oh my gosh. I think I probably need to fire this off, but could also be fine to... Could have been fine to put the Godpharaoh's Gift back in our hand to loot away to the FOMO. Feels bad to not cast any spell. Let me know what you would have done there. So I think we discard FOMO so we can have Delirium. Also, FOMO in the yard is nice for your Godpharaoh's Gift turns if we could set one of those up. They got 4 cards in their hand. Wouldn't it be nice if they played into a Fire Magic? They Molten Rain my Commercial District instead of playing into a Fire Magic, and then they play an Ocelot Pride. Well, that's not so bad. I guess I need to play this untapped, but I don't want to attack with my FOMO twice. One, I'm just not the aggro deck in the matchup. I need to be able to Fire Magic if they have another Molten Rain. Or if they play like a second Ocelot Pride, I'll fire it off. Maybe if they play a Ragavan. If they kill my FOMO, I'll fire it off. 5 mana here. Not too often you get triple Stone Rained by Boros. Need another red source. Yeah, I think we're dead. I don't think we have any outs we can draw next turn. Oh, I didn't mean to attack for 2 more. I think you probably just don't concede yet anyways because you want your opponent to think you have like pick your poison or something in your deck maybe. You also might get to see more. Yeah, I have seen the 3 mana 2/4 second spell make 2 1/1s or counter on each creature. That card's pretty cool. Alright, game 3. I feel like we would have won this game if we were on the play. Maybe not. I mean, getting the Fable down would have been so good against all the Reigns. Yeah, I think that card's cool. It plays well with the Steel Cutter stuff. There are now like just so many like 3 mana creatures in Modern that like you just go 3 mana creature Mishra's Bauble and get value, and they are all kind of competing, I guess. So I think I'm less likely to want to go in on Ugin's Labyrinth, although I might need to lab the Gift to Fire Magic. My opponent's thinking about their 7. Not snapping off triple Stone Rain this time, I guess. They mulled a 6. Yeah, I can keep that. Yeah, Sin could be a cool Neoform card. Although the thing is, you just don't get your stuff in the graveyard. I did think about it. All right, not too scary. Let me cast a Looting. So I have Artifact, Sorcery. So I think I just do Enchantment Creature. One thing that's kind of cool about Goblin Engineer also with Godpharaoh's Gift is that what you can do is you can, if you have FOMO, you can bring back the Engineer, which puts Cityscape Leveler in the graveyard, which I did keep in the deck, right? Yeah. Leveler in the yard, and then that second combat step you get the thing. So I think I'm going to discard these 2. And I think I want to go Traverse for a Woodland. And then I could Traverse for Basic Forest to play around Blood Moon. I could Traverse for a second Woodland. It doesn't really... I could just do that next turn. I don't think we should play around Blood Moon because we got Molten Rain so many times. Also, they're Ajani next turn. Well, that's great for me if they Ajani next turn. Yeah, I think I might want to Haywire if they like have like a Thraben Charm, but I guess hard to play around Thraben Charm. So there's a Guide of Souls. 2 cards in their hand after that. Into Voice of Victory. Okay, so we should be in great shape. So this is always like the most fun. These turns. I think I hold the Sprawl to discard to FOMO. What we get to do is we get to go copy Godpharaoh's Gift. Combat Step. Get back Goblin Engineer. Put Cityscape Leveler into the graveyard. Attack with both of our things here. Untap the Engineer. I think I'm going to go ahead and kill the Ragavan also. Just 1 less chump blocker this turn. Because I think they're just going to be pretty dead. They deal 1 damage to me. I don't think they realize how much danger they're in. I bet some of y'all don't realize either. Thank you, T-Vin, for the 26 months. So they just take it, and then we're going to bring back a FOMO first because we want that extra combat step. So we attack for 8 this time. I'm going to untap the FOMO since it has less damage on it. So now they're down to 2 life, and then we get another combat step where we bring back the Cityscape Leveler. Can they live if they go? I don't think they can live. But we'll just kill a Guide of Souls and it'll be over. I know. This is the problem with this deck. This archetype is good. We've played it a good amount. It's been pretty well. But these lines are so invisible to anybody who looks at the deck, no one will pick it up. You know what I mean? It's like this is like Dingo was sitting here next to me on the 24-hour stream, and I was explaining these lines to him, and it's just so invisible. The FOMO gift lines are so it's so hard to look at the list and see if that's what's going on here. Yeah, I've got to tell people, I guess. Yeah, the Engineer Leveler was a really good addition. I know we didn't Sin Spar in that game, but Sin Spar has been pretty good. I think it's better than the Bahamut too. Opponents with Sunny Cage. Yeah, we have our own cages in the sideboard. Okay, so we can turn to Fable. We could also turn. I think instead of turn 1 looting, because we have the Fable on turn 2, which I think is pretty important. I'm just going to surveil here. Fable the Mirror Breaker always way better when you can play a turn 2 off of Sprawl or Labyrinth, and then also in this deck, it's really nice that. Okay, that's good. It's nice that it lets you hardcast Sin Spara in the longer games. Force of Negation, pitching a Psychic Frog. Okay. So they probably do have a second Psychic Frog because there's like very few other blue cards they would want to keep here. Yeah, there we go. 4 cards left in their hand after this. We draw Shifting Woodland, which is pretty interesting. I think we just resolved the Fable this turn. So they attack with the frog. We could block. Let's... Blocking seems okay. I think I'm gonna not, though. They surveil. Alright. Let's discard Gift Looting. Now we have Delirium. There's Sin Spara. Get ready to rumble. If our opponent has a counterspell, I feel like this is about as good as any target. They do have the counterspell. I think we flashback the looting. Get this in the yard. Do I want to hardcast this ever? I think game 1 we aren't going to be about that life. We might just get a permanent gift in play, or we're likely to. That I was thinking that the sprawls could be a bit awkward with Sin Spara. They didn't really come up yesterday. Okay, we get Thought Seized. They draw a card. They've got 4 cards in their hand after they draw. I've got 3 mana after I activate the Woodlands. So I guess that's enough for this. We get to flip the Fable. Copy the gift. I guess we get the enters and the attacks. We probably just get. We're gonna get 2 out of the 3 permanents. Yeah. All right. So now we get a permanent God Pharaoh's Gift in play. Which isn't doing a ton at the moment. We also do get the Wooded Foothills, so let's get the upkeep Surveil going. And then let's save the Stomping Ground in hand to discard to this Fable, although it might might get countered. Although maybe it was good to play this main phase 1, so if it did get countered, we could Sin Spara it. In very good shape here. There's Fly the Frog. Yeah, Sin is just... It's a really, really good fit for this build. I know we just played like the Bahamut. It's funny that there was just a better creature, but not a card that was really on my radar since till Goryo started playing it. Okay, so one kind of weird thing about this matchup is that Harbinger of the Seas is like a real big pain. And I ended up cutting my heats and stuff from the board because I felt like that was the main reason I had it was Harbinger in this matchup, and it felt like I could try to just kind of like fable and dodge it maybe a little bit. So we'll see if that plan is just awful or what, but that's kind of the current plan. I think I'm going to cut Ace and Spara, the cash grab, which is kind of the kind of filler at the moment. Looting 4, kind of same thing. Yeah, sometimes Archon would be better. This is, again, more hard castable, and the kind of the big thing it's doing, which maybe isn't super obvious, is that it's another way to make Ulamog a really potent threat, is that it cheats Ulamogs into play in the same way Pharaoh does, because it exiles. And so, like, Ulamog is like still your main win condition, but this is a big part of your main condition working. I don't think we can mulligan this, but it's... Like we just have all the pieces, but it's really slow. Yeah, I know we don't have a basic mountain, but we have Utopia Sprawls. And Fables. Hard to say no to this, too. They graveyarded a stock up. White cash grab over Dredger's Insight. So instant is a better type than enchantment because we have enchantments, we don't have other instants. But doesn't Dredger's Insight miss other enchantments? So like you can't get these into your hand? Okay, so I'm going to take my Fable. Easy Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize Bug? I'll take a Faithless Looting too. Generously take a looting here. Maybe playing that's bad because it shows them what we drew. I don't think it matters all that much. What made you put Leveler back over Bahamut? So yeah, it's so that you can Goblin Engineer and Entomb it. Okay, this is gonna be a tough one. Yeah, it definitely kept a clunker, huh? Although that was a good little sequence here. No, we just can't afford to block. We need to be able to hardcast our stuff with the Fables, which is not the best plan. Another frog. Four, five, six, seven. A little weird. Would love to be able to cast the Leveler this turn. Yeah, I agree the Spirit Goryo's build looks really cool. Could they discard a Harbinger? See if they have a Consign. They get a Force of Negation also the way they paused on the Fable. They Nile Spellbomb in response, which makes sense. Alright, it's resolved though. So a Looter obviously lets me discard the Cityscape Leveler. If they have another Harbinger of the Seas, then our outs are like really limited. Yeah, it's just tough to beat Counterspell, Thoughtseize, Harbinger, Nile, Spellbomb. Looks like it's a Murktide though? Okay, no, I misread that. I feel like they should have drawn their cards first, not that they're probably ever settling on doing anything but this. So we are probably cooked. Yeah, I think we'll just go to game 3. Did I see the board wipe alternative to Cityscape level? I have seen that card. I think that card's, you know, all the Ugin Labyrinth and printables are worth thinking about. Yeah, I guess we could have drawn Rumble. Maybe giving it one more turn. It's just tough for them to not have a counter spell. Yeah. Do we want more surveils for the 2? We have 2. Because you're a shifting woodland Utopia Sprawl. Utopia Sprawl Ugin's Labyrinth deck. Your mana requirements are really weird. You could play 1 more. Yeah, I know. It's tough to have answers for everything. I just don't think I want Fire Magic to be the answer. I think we can just kind of try to dodge it. We could try to Fable our way out of it. Utopia Sprawl in red helps a lot, but maybe just not. Maybe we just also can have an answer to it. I mean, maybe it's just maybe it would be better to play Unholy Heats over the Veils. Yeah, like Fire Magic kills it, but like, do you want to board in 3 mana Answer to Harbinger? It just like, is this a winning card to have in your deck? I don't know. It's so inefficient. So like, maybe this is a game plan you can employ, but that was a game where we could beat Harbinger, but we couldn't beat the Nile Spellbomb. Maybe. Yeah, Vessel of Nascency is way worse than like Cash Grab. Can you split Fire Magic and Heat? It's just so tough to play less than 3 Fire Magic in the Boros Energy format. Okay, well, our hand is not too weak to this Thoughtseize. They took the Looting, which is probably wrong. Gift is imprintable, and Looting gives me Delirium. I think I might be able to bait the Nile Spellbomb. Okay, I guess if they have the black mana up, I care less about that, though. Oh, they're just main phasing it. Okay. Well, that's kind of nice. Although they got the Swamp, which is, obviously very Harbinger coded. Artifact, creature, sorcery. I just cannot quite activate it, huh? I could discard Cityscape Leveler, Ugin's Labyrinth, and then that would allow me to attack for 4. And then if they play Harbinger, we attack for 4 again, and then they're down to 5. They had 1 less life point. That line would be like way more attractive. So I think I just do this, and then play the Labyrinth, don't imprint. I guess imprinting could have been okay against another Thoughtseize. But maybe if they Harbinger, we can draw 4 mana sources and cast the Leveler. And maybe they just don't have Thoughtseize Counterspell, Spellbomb, Harbinger again. Maybe they do. They're preordating this turn. Fetch land lets me go off next turn. They put 1 on top, 1 on bottom. It's nice that they don't have Harbinger or Nile Spellbomb. Like, they just kind of can't do anything against a Spellbomb. I guess they could have Consign to counter the trigger. Preordain again. Be nice if they thoughtlessly Fatal Pushed my fear of missing out, I guess. They do keep 2 cards on top. That's not a good sign. And then they pass the turn. We draw a Utopia Sprawl, which is kind of nice if we do end up getting Harbingered. One weird thing is I kind of want to leave this in the hand for Harbinger, but I also need to get Delirium. So I guess I would rather have Fable as my follow-up. So, I mean, losing the Leveler is kind of stinky. I also don't have Delirium. I thought too many creatures. All right, 5 cards in their hand here. Stock up, okay. Weird stock up. Cool game. I guess the Leveler being in the yard is not that different from it being in hand at this point. Or if we get the 8 mana, the Unearth probably is even. It might just be better than the cast. All right, so they had a very thoughtful stock up here. They pass the turn. Fetch land. Veil's interesting. Oh, wait. Sorry, I could have just veiled and then I could and that was Delirium for Woodland. Might end up being fine. Like I don't know. I don't really know what we lose to. There's not a lot at least that we lose to. They're also, down to 4. Hey, Frost Arrow with the 12 months. Welcome back. Happy anniversary. Like they have to have like Surgical Extraction or Consign. Yeah, I guess Force on the Veil of Summer is kind of funny, but then we just cast the Fable, so I don't think we care much about Force. I wouldn't say we lose to Force, but I would say Force has got some game there. It's kind of cool we can cast the... I mean, I guess I don't know how we're not killing them if we can untap the Shaman token with the FOMO and attack with it twice. I guess if they had Tamio, we could cast the gift through that. It just keeps seeming... They're casting this so slow. It's like they have... It's like they have Murktide Regent, but no, it's just Harbinger again. So I want to keep both of these so I can hardcast this after I attack. So let's say no. Do I want to untap the FOMO? If I untap the FOMO, they have to discard 2 cards. Yeah, I think I'm more interested in them blocking the FOMO than the Shaman token too. Am I interested in sideboard through the breach action? We're not as good at turning on Ulamog's Exile for Through the Breach in the stack, but I also wouldn't be super interested in boarding it in this matchup, right? Before you attack my white, I need the treasure token. So they discard Thoughtseize, and then they take 2. So if I attack again, I can't attack again because then they have to discard 2 cards. They have to discard 2 cards to kill this, which means they can't Force of Negation the God Pharaoh's Gift. They discard Subtlety, Spell Snare. Kind of fun. Just pass this and close our eyes. We really only lose to Nile Spellbomb. I guess Sync on this could get us. Consign on the God Pharaoh's Gift trigger would buy them a turn, especially because I am now 2 mana away from Cityscape leveling. They've got 2 cards in their hand. They get to draw 1 more with the Psychic Frog. Beat any counter spells besides Consign, any discard, any removal really. I guess not Sync. Could beat Sync if I draw a land. Interesting that they're thinking about not attacking or something. I don't know. Don't know what the thought is there. Because if this trigger resolves, they're getting Ulamogged. Alright, I'm down to 15. They've got 3 cards. Play a Polluted Delta. Murktide Regent. 1 card left in their hands. Nile Spellbomb, Sync, and Consign are the only cards that do anything, I think. We've dodged Nile Spell. I guess it could be Cling to Dust. So we flip this. We're pretty dead in the air next turn, right? I'm assuming. Might as well cast this, I guess. Great, GG. I guess they don't survive, do they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, I can also FOMO first. Like, the FOMOs are free. Leveler has trample. Well, it's only a 4/4 with trample. It also wins. Ulamog annihilates 10. We also get to just triple FOMO first, so and that seems pretty good, right? I mean, I don't know. They're dead on board. We could win with many ways. Don't lose Delirium. Yeah, I guess if we get rid of this 3rd FOMO, losing Delirium is kind of a problem. I guess this also doesn't even kill the Murktide because they this doesn't even kill the Murktide because they get to grow it with the frog. Okay, I'm just gonna Ulamog. But just show off the FOMO gift tech. Although we might be able to get Delirium back. Like if we drew... yeah, we would get Delirium back if we discarded the commercial district. But they've got 9 permanents. I'm annihilating 10, and we're 2-0. Have I thought about Splinter Twin in the stack? Like FOMO already works with it. You want Delirium, you can find it off Rumble. It's just a lot of top end, you know. It's kind of interesting, but I don't like that Graveyard Hate turns off that plan. I think you would probably just play through the Breach instead, but it's kind of interesting. We did do well with FOMO Twin earlier this week. You can maybe play like one Splinter Twin over Cash Grab #1. Well, I mean, that game we beat Harbinger, Harbinger, Nile Spellbomb, Counterspell, Thoughtseize. Yeah, maybe Kiki could be better than Twin. Also, that's true. Yeah, maybe one Kiki is right. I haven't tried Sin and Goryo's. I've played against Sin and Goryo's, and I think it's good there. I think it does go with like kind of stock Goryo's, and because of that, I don't think I really have a lot to say there. So I just wanted to find if there was a different shell, and this is the shell I found after looking at like hybrid gift Goryo's builds, other builds of Goryo's, green black, Sultai, omniscience builds, and this is where I ended up. Okay, so we're on the draw, new matchup. I don't love this hand. I think I would kind of keep it easily on the play. I think on the draw, we can probably do better. All right, let's keep this. I think we're not going to have trouble entombing stuff, so let's put back the engineer. They're on a mold of 5. I've played Goblin Engineer in Hammer Time. I don't recommend it. Although I don't know what A tier and pre-win is. All right, they played an Eldrazi Temple. We've drawn another Fable. Aggro Eldrazi? I guess it could be Brood Scale. Could still be Brood Scale. Rumble's got the highest upside. Could kill them next turn if our Rumble's good enough. Almost good enough. So we're going to play Woodland Fable next turn. Oh, maybe Woodland FOMO's better. I guess we need to discard the FOMO to the Fable to have Delirium to attack with Sinspara. So they attack with 2. They probably have a K command, which is less than ideal. They just don't have it. Wow. So they have 6 mana here. They imprint a Sire. I guess a Myco Spawn getting rid of my Labyrinth would be pretty annoying. Oh, then they have 7 mana. Hopefully they just cast a Sire then. Okay, perfect. Maybe not perfect, but we get to put a gigantic Ulamog into play, so good. Oh, maybe we don't. Okay. Because the problem is, if I guess it's a 50-50 chance, isn't it? Because I need Delirium. Is there any other way we could do this? I could go Traverse for Engineer, and then I wouldn't be able to do the thing until next turn. Let's see what we draw. They have 7 in exile. So the thing is, Ulamog doesn't get the counters if you just Woodland to Ulamog. And then when you Sin Ulamog, it's a 14/14. The problem is if I hit the FOMO instead, they just get to block because I don't get the ETB and the attack. So it seems like I just set up for the Ulamog next turn. Again, them having a 7 in exile is not relevant at all. I'll say that again next turn, maybe. It does not matter. For Ulamog to have Annihilator, it needs to have counters. It gets counters based on cards in exile. It does that when it enters the battlefield. So if you're shifting Woodland and Ulamog, It doesn't care. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. So they've got 9 permanents here. Okay, well, don't think they know how my... Am I dead to this? I might be dead to this. No, I go to 2 and I just double block, right? Oh, but then I died to the Fleshraker attack. Dang, Zac seized. Yeah, no trample on Sire. Oh, there is trample on Sire. Never mind. Super dead. Okay. Down a game. I think we need to Haymire Might so we can traverse or engineer, I guess, for... Although I guess we can't really use engineer to get the might. Alright, just do this. Probably a fine matchup. Thanks, Martian. This plays into K command. Could we have discarded Sin and guaranteed hits this way? Well, it seemed we couldn't beat K command anyways, so I think it's fine, right? We didn't lose to K command. You know, there wasn't a line that beat Glaring Fleshraker K command, right? So I don't think it mattered very much. Is it a bad plan using Fire Magic just for Sai and Eldrazi? I mean, it could also kill Glaring Fleshraker, so it's not the worst plan ever. It's not a plan I really like very much, though. Sin bringing back Sprawl seems very bad. Well, yeah, you just try not to like loot away Sprawl. I don't think it's that big a deal. Another thing too is it's like if you God Pharaoh's Gift or you FOMO, you get an extra trigger, so it might just not even matter. Okay, they're on the mold to 6. I'm gonna lead on the looting. So like we just mentioned, try not to loot away the Sprawl. I don't think I would really want to anyways. Just thinking, I think I'll discard second FOMO. Don't need to worry too much about like Ghost Quarters or stuff. I guess they could have microspawns. Hard to really say what their build is. Does seem like it's going to be a Sin Spara kind of game. Although maybe I just traverse for Engineer. They're thinking here, so like, am I supposed to just assume that any Eldrazi player who thinks has K command in their hand? I don't know. Why not just call him Sin? I don't know. Why don't start your own stream? What's the problem? Okay, let me see what my top card is. Okay, so I think I just graveyard. Get the engineer. I'll leave the FOMO back to block. Super happy to chump block it if I get to gift or woodland the gifts. You believe in yourself, Sharps. All right, so they are pretty dead if they don't have a graveyard hate here. So they do have graveyard hate here. A little bit easier to play around at least. All right, that's a start for rebuilding. So we do have Delirium if we discard these two. Because our Goblin Engineer is dead, We kind of need to tutor up Slin or Sin so that it can put the Ulamog back into play. But we have to take a turn to loot it away, which is pretty slow. Oh yeah, the fetch was Delirium too. Could have shifted the Sin and untapped with a FOMO gun attack. Oh yeah, I knew we couldn't attack with it without that, but yeah, you're right. Maybe that was better. Copy the Sin with the FOMO, attack, untap it. Ulamog has counters now with Woodland. No, it doesn't enter the battlefield. Listen, if you could shifting Woodland and Ulamog, and if there was anything in exile you could attack with it, that would be like a tier 1 strategy in Modern. It would be something you would see all the time. It would be the best thing to do with Woodland. But that's the problem with Ulamog Woodland, is that it doesn't enter the battlefield, which is why you go through the steps of God Pharaoh's gifting it. We wouldn't play God Pharaoh's gift if that wasn't the case. Okay, so they exile my creature and they exile my graveyard. Okay, let's double block. Can't feel too bad about this, but it's weird that they did that all main phase. So I don't have Delirium. I guess we just pass. The best thing to do with Woodland might still be Anno Slips, even if that was the case. I mean, maybe, but like, it's a little semantic-y, I guess. It would be like a huge part of Modern. Like, it would just be very easy to do that. Right. Sorry, I guess I should be... Okay, so much graveyard hate. I think that's probably going to be not... that one's not going to be beatable. Matt with the 30 months, thank you, welcome back. Or Mateo, sorry. Okay, I was thinking this is the best draw. Do I want to grab... Or do I even have a... I have a second basic forest in the deck. I don't think I want to grab it since... It would let me cast this if I drew exactly Utopia Sprawl. Yeah, hard casting is the plan. It's a 7/7 flyer, also against the Null Drifters. Yeah, Goryo's is more popular lately, so... It's still a lot of graveyard hate. It's more than you would usually run into. But Treasure, I'm counting Treasure, but we need blue and green, right? So I can't traverse for a different color, but if I got basic forests, I could sprawl to filter with the Treasure. I think we're pretty dead though. Let's keep it going here. Yeah, this deck's pretty nice. So much graveyard hate. The Eldrazi decks have been all over the place lately. I think people are finally like over the normal ramp builds. So it feels like you'd like never play against the normal ramp builds, and you just always play against like the Tron builds or the aggro builds, or I don't know how much you count Brood Scale. Yeah, people really want Linebreaker to be good. I mean, I want Linebreaker to be good. Thoughts on the new Warp Eldrazi? It's very interesting. It's very interesting that it doesn't work very well with the Eldrazi cards that exist, right? It's like the new Warp Eldrazi is like it rewards you for having a lot of lands into play and caring about ETB effects instead of cast triggers. So it also just seems really powerful to, you know, maybe it is still strong to cast off of Eldrazi temples and stuff. It's also a 6-drop, so it doesn't get labbed. It's very hard to evaluate. Aggro decks are typically they took Ulamog. That's great. That's where I want that in the graveyard. Yeah, aggro decks are typically the best against Eldrazi. That's kind of the main reason it dipped out in the beginning. was Prowess was getting really popular. Also, Titan is the best deck in the format against Eldrazi, so there's that. Thoughts on Yuna's Decision? I don't know what Yuna's Decision is, Spider, but you can link it. Right, they had a Felia, a Solitude, a Trawler, and an Emperor. A lot of graveyard hate. Maybe they'll pick a Solitude or a Felia. They picked Trawler. Yeah, Neoform is really good against Eldrazi. I think Goryo's, even though it's, gets graveyard hated, is also good against them. Okay, welcome back, Cash Grab. Back to the graveyard, that is. Yeah, it's really that, Eldrazi is quite good against Orzhov. That's kind of it. I don't know. It's okay. It's not, the worst against Boros, but I don't think it's particularly good, Okay, so this is 4 mana sorcery. Sack a creature. If you do, draw a card. Then you put a creature or land from your hand onto the battlefield. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this isn't legal in Modern. Sweet. No, they've got a lot of graveyard hate in their hand. Okay, I think instead of playing against mono graveyard hate, it's lunchtime. I think Sweetless, we showed it off. I'm pretty hungry. How's the Stormlight Journey going? I'm 400 pages in Oathbringer. I've been having a hard time focusing on it. Was some of y'all over to Doomwick today? Looking at the spoilers.